Hello everybody, this is Daryl at hudsonscustommachining.com, and I think this is part 3 of the rebuild on this internal centrifugal start switch. This is for an Emerson 11646, and if you're just tuning in to this video, I would encourage you to go back and search YouTube for part 1. There should be a part 1 that shows the rotor, how I received it, dirty, missing, broken, worn out parts. There should be a part 1 and then a part 2, and I think this is going to be part 3. I've not posted anything to YouTube yet, so I'm not real sure what even the title of this is going to be. Anyway, if this is part 3, and I think that's what it's going to be, go back and look at part 1 so you can see how dirty, nasty, grungy. This thing had been wrecked before. One of the screws came out and got hung up in here as it was spinning, and all this was not, none of this was working like it should. And you see here, I've got new springs in here. I had to remove all of this, take all this apart, and I cleaned all of this up. Made all new spacers down below here. These spacers, I don't think we can, probably won't be able to see those spacers down in that slot there. I made new spacers, new insulators, and I made these insulators just a little bit larger in diameter than what the original ones were. It just gives a little bit more surface up here. Just a little more, and these spacers I made down below, I also made a little shoulder on them to actually come up through this brass just a little bit. You can see the thickness of the brass there. I think it was 0.053 thick, I think, and made those spacers below so that they would have a guide. The original design was not made that way. So there's the original springs. That one didn't look too bad, but this one's kind of bent up, and they're rusty and dirty and nasty, and I just didn't want to try to reuse those springs. That's the old insulator that come out of the bottom, from down in the bottom. I made a whole new insulator here to go down in the bottom there. New insulator here for that. This piece cleaned up very nicely. Like I said, you can go back to the part 1 of this video and see how all of this looked before we started. Here's the original screws that was used in this switch, and these were actually made with, this is a little smaller, can't get it to focus. This was a little smaller than quarter hex. I can't remember what this measured. I don't remember what that measured, but I used 1/4 inch hex. You'll see they're just a little bit bigger. The head part of it is. But all that does is holds this in here and keeps this stationary, so this piece can slide back and forth as this thing opens and closes. Alright. And in one of the other videos I pointed out, let me see if I can find it, there was a pretty bad gouge. Yeah, there it is right there. See that gouge up under here where apparently this screw here, well, it was one of these originals. One of these screws came out and kind of wrecked the whole thing. So we got all this back together. Everything's working like it should. I wish I had some type of editing software so I could put all this together and you could see all of this in one video. But I'm doing this with an iPhone and I don't have any kind of editing software. So you'll just have to go back, look at part 1 video, part 2, and this one here. So the whole project took a little longer than I wanted it to, but instead of trying to go back and piece things together and use used parts and use springs, I just opted to make everything all new. So what's in here now is all brand new stuff, and this will be going back out to the customer in the next day or two, as soon as I can get everything packed up. So that's it for now. We appreciate y'all. Take care.